I hope you're all doing well and taking care, and welcome to this brand new Doctor video on the channel. So today we have a few little pieces of Doctor Who news to discuss. And first up, it is with this year's Children in Need, because coming this Friday night is going to be a Doctor Who Children in Need special, which is great to see because it's obviously for a great cause, and this is actually going to be the 14th Doctor's first outing in the TARDIS. Yes, this is not going to be an out of canon sketch or anything like that. It's going to be how it was in the first Russell T Davies era, with minisodes like Born Again in 2005 and then Time Crash in 2007. This is going to be a proper Doctor Who minisode, a Doctor Who episode, but in short form, and it is going to be focused on the 14th Doctor's first proper adventure in his TARDIS, which is great to see. I really can't wait. Even though it's just 5 minutes long, I can't wait to see David Tennant back in action for the first time on TV as the Doctor, the 14th Doctor, and we now have a synopsis for this Doctor Who mini episode, and it is definitely a very out there sounding episode, and I'm very excited to see what's going to happen. The synopsis, which of course is for the Children Need special, which will air this Friday night during Children Need, also as well, of course, donate if you can, it's for a great cause. But the synopsis reads as follows. In this special Children in Need episode, the Doctor hurtles through time and space to a crucial point in the Daleks' history. So yeah, it's a very interesting synopsis, and we also have this photograph as well for the episode where you can see the 14th Doctor is sort of examining this Dalek shell, and I think it's very likely this episode is going to be a sort of prequel or a squeakquel to the very fan favourite classic Who story Genesis of the Daleks, because if we are going to have the Doctor revisit somewhere really important in the Daleks' history, going back to Genesis of the Daleks would make the most sense, because that is when Davros himself created the Daleks for the very first time. And one theory I've seen going around, which I think is not impossible, but it's unlikely, but you never know really, but what if the Doctor is actually going to accidentally interrupt the events of Genesis of the Daleks to the point where the Daleks were never successfully created in the first place by Davros and his experiments ultimately failed? I do think that's probably too deep for just a fun little minisode, but it's not impossible, because people have noted the person who directed this episode was actually the same director as the Series 14 finale. And the Series 14 finale with Ncuti Gatwa and Bonnie Langford, that is rumoured to be a Daleks finale. We don't know if that's true or not yet, but it's heavily rumoured to be a Daleks finale. So what if this minisode is going to have the Doctor accidentally remove the Daleks from existence, and then later on it's kind of like a setup for Series 14, where maybe there is going to be a sort of new Genesis of the Daleks, a new beginning for the Daleks themselves. I do think that's unlikely. I think if this is anything to do with Genesis of the Daleks, it'll maybe just be a small little meeting, unseen meeting between early Davros and the 14th Doctor, something like that, something a bit of fun for just a few minutes. I don't think it'll be anything deep as the Doctor accidentally removing the Daleks from existence, but you never know, that would be a nice sort of prequel to the future with Series 14, a future storyline with the Daleks and Ncuti Gatwa. But overall, I'm really excited for this minisode. It's going to be properly the 14th Doctor's first adventure in the TARDIS. Russell T Davies has said over on Instagram, this is not going to be like a comedy sketch or anything like that. This is going to be the 14th Doctor's first adventure in the TARDIS. It's probably going to be based on Scarrow as well, because, bit of a spoiler here, but in the Doctor Who magazine 14th Doctor comic series, which has been taking place throughout this year, that actually ended on the cliffhanger of the 14th Doctor going to Scarrow, because because yeah, this is obviously the lead-in now to this mini-sode from the comic, and now this is the 14th Doctor having a mini-venture on Scarrow, and yeah, I'm really interested to see what's going to happen. It is pretty funny though, because just a few days before this Children in Need announcement, we had this interview from Russell T Davies where he said he felt the Daleks needed a pause and we wouldn't be seeing them for a while. And then literally just a few days later, we had this announcement that the Daleks are going to be involved in this mini-sode. I do kind of get it though, because the Daleks are such a huge part of Doctor Who's history. They are a big reason why Doctor Who has been successful as it has been. It was the first story with the Daleks back in 1963 that put Doctor Who on the map for the first time, and with the Daleks most definitely not going to have a role in the upcoming 60th anniversary specials, it does make sense for them to have a role here instead, just to do a little bit of a celebration with the Daleks and have them involved in some way for these anniversary celebrations. In terms of what will happen with Series 14, Russell is saying at the moment that the Daleks won't be involved for Ncuti Gatwa's first series. However, as I said earlier, the Daleks are heavily rumoured for next year's season finale, and yeah, I'm just not 100% sure if we should take Russell at his word, because it's very known within the Doctor Who fan base that showrunners lie. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens if the Daleks appear next year or not. Moving on to Series 15 now. Well, Series 2, Season 2, I have to get used to calling Series 14 Season 1 and Series 15 Season 2. It'll take time, but I'll get there. But basically, we have our first filming news for the 2024/2025 series already, because we have a guest star announced for next year's Christmas special, and that is actress Nicola Coughlan. Now, you might have heard of Nicola before because she is a pretty big actress, especially in the UK. She's worked on the very popular comedy drama series for Channel 4, Derry Girls. I've seen it a few times in the past, and yeah, Nicola is a very funny actress in that show. She does a good job. She's also known for being in Bridgerton, which is a popular Netflix series. I've never seen it, but I've heard some very good feedback on social media regarding her role in that. And she's also recently been in the Barbie movie as well. So as you can tell, Nicola has a very big profile, and she has now been announced as a guest star for next year's Christmas special, which is very exciting. We don't know anything yet about her actual character in the show. There has been some reports that her character is going to be named Joy, but I haven't seen any official confirmation of that at this stage. But that could be the case, that her character name is maybe going to be called Joy according to some reports. But regarding the wider episode itself, we don't really know very much about this Christmas special yet, which is understandable. However, there has been some people who have been watching the filming recently, and they have reported that some of the filming is going to be based in New York, which is quite interesting because over the last few days, Karen Gillan was at London Film and Comic Con, and she said a very intriguing comment, because she said she's getting ready to film a new project here in the UK. She's had to dye her hair ginger for this project, which is interesting, and also she's going to be reuniting with a very familiar actor that we may all know, which is probably going to be one of her fellow Doctor Who co-stars. Now, no surprise really, as expected, that has since fueled some speculation that maybe in the near future, possibly for next year's Christmas special, there is going to be a reunion of sorts for Amy Pond, played of course by Karen Gillan, and also probably Rory Williams, played by fellow actor Arthur Darvill, both of them making a reunion with Ncuti Gatwa for the 2024 Christmas special alongside Nicola Coughlan. That is, I would say, overall very unlikely. That probably is just wishful thinking, but of course I would love it to be the case, because I've spoken a lot in the past how I have so much love in particular for the Matt Smith era of the show. I would say that after the 10th Doctor and Donna, my second favourite TARDIS team would definitely be 11, Amy and Rory. I just think Amy and Rory were great companions. That TARDIS team, particularly in Series 6, was a lot of fun. It was definitely my second favourite TARDIS team after Ten and Donna. And of course, I would adore to see Amy and Rory making a reunion with Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor. That would be perfection. I would love that. But it probably is very unlikely. It's probably just a coincidence. And also, Karen could be reuniting with one of her Doctor Who co-stars. But it could be for just another project. But at the same time, Russell has been very open recently about the Whoniverse and opening its doors for more returns from the past and the future and being a lot more accepting of its past. So I wouldn't rule this idea out, and it is very interesting that Karen had to dye her hair ginger for this project as well, which is of course the hair colour of Amy Pond. So maybe it isn't a coincidence and it is all adding up here, and we are going to see Amy and Rory making a return next year. It would make some sense because of course that's where Amy and Rory were sent to because of the deadly Weeping Angels. They were sent to New York in the past, and with some of this new Christmas special taking place by the looks of it in New York, maybe it'll even be just a cameo. Just the Doctor maybe looks on from a distance and sees Amy and Rory and what they are now up to. That would be a lovely little scene. It wouldn't require much time from both Karen and Arthur, especially with Karen being a big Marvel actor now, but just a small cameo like that would be a really nice nod to the past, a really nice nod to the Matt Smith era of the show, and I would definitely like that to be the case. But like I said, it's probably just wishful thinking, probably not going to happen, but you never know. Anything is possible now with the wider of the Whoniverse. Overall, as I say in a lot of my videos, we will just have to wait and see what happens. But regardless if Amy and Rory appear or not, I'm excited to see Nicola in the show. I haven't seen too much of her, but as I said, I have seen her a few times in Derry Girls, and she is a very funny comedic actress, and I am excited to see her in the show. I also know from some interviews and stuff that apparently herself and Ncuti Gatwa have some good chemistry together. So maybe we will even see Nicola fill out the guest companion role for next year's Christmas episode, because so far we haven't yet seen Millie Gibson at all on the Christmas special filming set, and they have been filming for quite a few weeks now. Don't worry, it is expected that Millie will be returning for a second series, which is good to see, because with less episodes per series now, it probably is important that companions stay for longer to make up the time. So I'm glad she's coming back for a second series as far as we know. But I could see if Millie is not involved in the Christmas episode, then we could see Nicola temporarily filling that role for one episode. We've seen that in the past, especially in RTD1 with Catherine Tate being the guest companion for 2006, and then also Kylie Minogue for 2007. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. But that's all for next year. We have so much to come before then. We have the 60th anniversary specials, which are just coming in less than 2 weeks now. So exciting. Then we have this year's Christmas special, which is looking very fun, going off some leaks out there. And then finally, we also have Series 14, which is expected to land next spring. So yeah, basically, do subscribe for lots more Doctor Who content coming soon, especially as we get closer now to brand new episodes after a long 13-month gap. There's lots more Doctor Who content on the way, Doctor Who reviews, all that sort of stuff. And also remember, Friday night on BBC Children Need, definitely donate as well if you can, and also stay tuned for the minisode which will be taking place on Friday. I'm very excited to see David Tennant back in action as the 14th Doctor, and also seeing what this kind of return to Skaro is going to be like and what exactly Russell has planned for this minisode. Also as well, I wonder if we'll get to see the new title sequence, because with past previous Children Need minisodes that Russell used to do in particular, we used to get the title sequences at the start of the episode. So it'll be interesting as well to see if we get to see a glimpse of the new title sequence before the 60th anniversary specials with the minisode this Friday, or if they will probably use a temporary placeholder. It's probably 50-50. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and of course, I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.